So this world is where things get a bit more difficult throughout, but it's not too bad, so don't rush through it. But for the start, you want to, let me show that off again, because I didn't mean to enter throughout. Hold up a bit, and then release B. Hold up left and rev roll on that wall there. Like once you get here, just hold up left, and then you should make it every time. It's a really easy roll, so and it saves a lot of time, so it's pretty easy to get the hang of. Oh yeah, and shouts to these annoying pukas. And then you're gonna do a roll here. Not ledge grab. Let me shut off again. Access die will be for the better. So, copy the mood here. You can either go on the left side or the right side. The left side is faster, and I'll show you that route right now. And normally when you get here, this platform will be like right here. So just rev roll like that. Just make sure it's tilted, and then you should make it here. And then I'll show you the way when you go to the other side. Which I would not recommend going on the other side, but I think it's a bit easier. But yeah, I recommend going on the right side because it's faster. So I'll show off one more time. And I have to wait here because my cycles are different. Because normally when you get here, the platform will be right here. So we get on here. Do a butt bounce if you need to. Tilt the platform and roll here. And do a full roll here. And then jump here. And then position yourself like around here on this platform. Get away, Puka. And then you want to kind of bonk this edge here. And be careful for the ghosts, and sometimes if you like bounce like the very edge of these, they can send you off like that and just eat your jump, so just be careful. So again, bonk that. Do a bug bounce here. Hug this wall. And get the checkpoint if you wish. And this is kind of the tricky part of this level, but it's not too hard, so don't rush through it. Do a roll here. And then you basically want to stop yourself around here. I'll show you like different methods of doing this. I think Ruse does this method. I'll show that off one last time. So you kind of want to stand here for Ruse's method. And just watch my inputs kind of, and not ledge grab it. It's been a while since I've done this method, but I would think I'd recommend doing that because it's been a while since I've done that setup, but yeah, mostly for my setup, I stand like around, I guess around, let me show you for my cap card, this area right here. Camera, like around here-ish, really. So let me show that off here. Nice voice crack. And then I do like the C-stick method, which nobody does. Or you can do like that method without using the C-stick. Oops. It's really easy to mess that up when you start, so don't worry. It's hard. How did that work? So you'll just have to see from my inputs and then just see where I stand. But yeah, if you see my inputs, I use the C-stick because it makes it easier for me. If you can't get that, then you can you can take this and then roll here. It's loses a lot of time, but if you can't do it, then that's just my things. I don't know what to tell you if you can't do that, but just practice it. Do a full roll here, get this checkpoint, bounce here. Oops. So take that by doing, and then do butt bounces here to avoid ledge grabs. And then you wanna, oops. So yeah, do those bounces, and then rev roll. Not with a bad camera. With this button, you'll just kind of have to see what I do there. So you just want to do a roll off that button, or you can do this. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's slightly faster. Do a jump here, and then this is the cheeky part. You can either wait for this platform to fall, and then do that. And I'll show off one more time. Also, if you die here, do not like mash the jump button, otherwise your input will get eaten. So just wait. And then tab jump. So you can, let's see if I can make it back there. Nope. So what you want to do is kind of like jump off of like the very edge of this platform, but like not right off it, because if you do, you'll get an A-frame jump. So shut off one more time. Like you basically want to kind of like jump by like the pillar kind of. It's kind of hard to like explain in full detail, but you'll kind of understand what I'm saying once like I explain it like clearer. Yeah, that's a word. So if you can't, because mostly you want to jump off like the very edge and then bounce on that to skip a ledge grab. But if you can't do that, you can just do this. Then that's also fine. It loses a bit of time. Jump on here and then bounce on this platform. Don't hit this button, otherwise you'll activate a cutscene. So don't hit A, or else you'll hit this button and it activates a cutscene and all that. So just ignore it. Do a roll here. This checkpoint. Do a short roll here. And then full charge here with that platform. And I'll show that one more time. This one's a kind of an easy roll, so it's kind of hard to mess up, but it's kind of easier to get the hang of. So it's pretty easy. And walk here, do a full roll. I did not mean to exit level. Whatever. I'll show this off like one more time, like a good IL when you start off. Like what you should do in full runs as a beginner. I should have slid it there. So yeah, like just bounce on like, or just jump off of like the very edge of it, but not like at the closest edge. You can do a short roll here if you want. It saves a few frames, but you don't have to. So just line yourself like around where I'm standing, like at this part of like this collision right here. Kind of. Because if you do, you should make it. Just make sure you're not facing the wall, otherwise you'll bonk and then you just won't make it. Just make sure you're not facing that corner. So I'll shut off again. And that skips having to walk the bridge, and it saves some time. Do a full roll here, stop here. You can either jump across these platforms or you can do a rev roll across them. This is a bit riskier, but it's faster. Sometimes the collision is a bit wonky where you can like bonk on these things, so just bear that in mind. Like honestly, I'd recommend jumping these, since a lot of people mess these up. So this is a good thing to practice. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh! Grabbed it as Ash Pac-Man. I've never seen that before. Yeah. This is a good thing to practice. It's easy to die right there, kind of. So, just be careful. You don't have to do it, but it saves the time. If you can't, then just jump. It loses probably like a second or two. Do a tiny roll. Once you get up here, like do a tiny roll. Bounce on this platform. Do a tiny roll. Then mostly the platform will be coming here, but since I had different movement, my cycles were off. So jump on the pillar and this platform. And once like the platform is like super close to you, you kind of want to... Here, let me shut off again. Like once you get in this like room, the platform will be coming towards you, so there's no need to wait. Just copy the movement here. Oh, I missed it. Like you're trying to bonk on that platform to get onto this pillar. I call it the PLP bounce or whatever. Or that's what I refer to it as. I shouldn't have butt bounce there. Like that, so you'll just kind of have to like get the hang of it. If you can't get that, then you can do this. Uh oh, I'm dead. Like you can like roll from that pillar to this pillar, that's fine. Do a jump here, grab this edge. That jump seems scary, but it's really not. So just copy that movement at the end. It's pretty simple. And that's ITV. And here we have the first major skip of the run. This is the one and only best skips in the game, Volcanic Panic Skip. And this is where you'll kind of start to panic about. You won't really panic, but it's a pun. So, anyways, once you spawn in, you're gonna want to break this box. And then you kind of want to line yourself up around here where I am, kind of. Like, kind of like straight here, but not like so you block the wall. Like that, kind of. I'll shut it off again. So break this box. You can either, because if you keep bonking the wall, because if you make like at least probably 3 seconds or close to like 2.5 seconds of movement mistakes, this trick is not going to work, and I'll show you why you need this chrome ball. So break this box, You can either, if you're scared of like bonking the walls, you can always pause buffer this. It loses a bit of time. I think C13 used to do that, if I remember correctly, but I can't remember since he's gone. But no, just practice, because it's hard to get the hang of when you first start. So just kind of watch my inputs, and if you can't do them, just pause buffer it. It's fine, really. Do a roll here for a bit, and then jump on the platform here, and then you're gonna bonk the wall here, and then stand around where I am-ish, do a short roll, and then you kind of want to, well, I'll show it off here. Kind of want to do your roll around here and face this thing right here, because you're gonna bonk and then go there and then bounce here, and then you're gonna clip through and then skip this level, and I'll show that off. So you can either do a full roll and rev jump there. I don't do it because it's kind of scary for me, but just do whatever you feel. Short roll here. And that's why you kind of want to bonk the wall there. And then you're going to stop your roll here. And then you're going to butt bounce into the lava here, like on this corner right here. Oops. No, I clipped through, but we're not going to explain how to do that clip just yet, but so this box, roll here. So you're going to want to butt bounce here, and then do a full charge roll here. If you charge for too long, if you're like too down into the lava, you'll die like this. See, I was too far down in the lava, so I died and touched the kill plane. Yes, the chrome ball makes you invincible to everything except some lava pits and some enemies, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Well, there probably aren't, but I just probably have bad memory. So bounce on this corner, and then once you you're gonna release your wall, not roll. You're gonna revel off this wall, and then you're gonna bounce and then clip out of bounds, and then you're gonna jump straight to the end, and then you're gonna hold like upright. What? How did that not work? I guess I just wasn't too far to the wall or something. Let's try that again. This is really easy to mess up, so don't rush through it when you first start. So you're gonna do a roll, and then you kind of saw with my inputs, you want to hold slightly up, right a bit, and then you should clip through. I almost died. And then you're gonna, and if you're too far, don't stand too far to this part of the lava here, because it's not solid. You'll just die. See? So, oh, nice camera. So yeah, let me show that off again. So you kind of saw with my inputs, I almost died there. Just jump out of the lava if you need to, if you're like really far down into it. And then you'll just kind of have to copy my move in here throughout, which it shouldn't be that hard. And there are some random times where you'll jump out of the lava, but Pac-Man won't jump fully out of it. Like that, kind of. And then you butt bounce straight down. I'm going to show off one more time. And you don't have to like release your roll that early or stop your roll. Because I guess I'll show you what happens if you like kind of stop it early, kind of. And also too late. Because if you stop your roll too late, you'll just ruffle off of something and then die. And I think if you stop it too early, I think you won't clip through or you'll just probably die. No, that's not gonna matter. Get on the thing. Well, that was because I accidentally tapped down, but if you stop too early, you should be fine, but it's kind of hard to make it, kind of. So that's the time you kind of stop your roll. You release and then mash. I stop and mash a bit earlier because it's comfortable for me, but I'd recommend rolling and then stopping with the rhythm. Kind of, you'll have to watch and play back, really. Oh, that worked? That really shouldn't have worked, but like this is, I won't stop my roll, but you'll just have to pretend I stopped it. So let me show this off. Maybe I'll charge it for a bit longer. Maybe that'll work. Like, always practice this when you first start. Because it saves, like, this skip saves like 3.5 to 4 minutes. So it's really worth it if you can't do it, but just practice, practice. So if you do that, you could probably, like, if you charge your roll too much or stop it late, you could, like, bonk off something or die. So, just be careful. I should also mention, if you watched my part 1 of this tutorial, wow, I pressed B instead of A, not bad. The score count for this level, you want to have over, I believe it's 80 points if I remember correctly. To mash A. After you're done with this level, you hold left if you have lower than 80, but if you have 80, just mash. Which you really should have 80, but it's kind of hard to get lower than 80 points. I'm not going to make it with that movement, so I'm going to die and try that again. Time. That was really close. So again, you just kind of want to copy my movement. Make sure you're kind of in position with this like black blob in the middle, the one I'm like, the black blob I'm literally in right now. Right now. And then you want to tap forward and then bounce. And then you don't want to like walk straight to there because that lava down there is invisible and it instantly kills you, so you want to tiptoe into it. Yeah, like I said, sometimes you won't jump out of it, so you'll just kind of have to see what happens. And then if you like used my cube, you should be around here. And then once you're like here, you kind of want to tiptoe slightly like this, like hold the controller slightly up and then tiptoe. And if you do that correctly, you should touch the goal, and then you win. That's the skip. You can wait for the lava to rise down, but that loses a lot of time. And I'll show you that right here. How did I get a jump out of there? And there's also a fast drive for this part, but I'm not going to even cover it because you shouldn't go for it ever. Unless you're a top level player. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I should mention sometimes the camera can get stuck in the lava occasionally, so you'll just kind of have to start your roll and then flip kick to kind of get it out, kind of, and I'll show you how to do that. Like sometimes I just tap and then tap twice, because I think it's kind of random where it'll let you jump. So if it's stuck, you can just roll and then just wait for it to come down, kind of with the camera if it got stuck. It's not stuck right now, but you just pretend it was, and then you'll just kind of have to experiment and then just flip kick. So that you see the lava's rising down. So like I said, you should wait for it. And then like once it goes down, and then just you can walk down and you're free. Actually, and don't walk too fast, otherwise you'll get stuck. But I think there's a backup where you can save this, but I think it takes like 1,000 years, so. So just don't walk too fast if you do that method. You can back up yourself if that happens, but it's kind of dependent on your position, really. So I'll show it off again. I think waiting for the lava wastes at least probably, I don't know, let me think. Like at least probably 10 seconds, so once you do, you can walk slightly and then you should get there fine. So I'll show off in what it would look like in a full run. Just copy this part. And make sure you don't go too far to that log because it doesn't exist. Use the cube for this like a little black blob thing. And then bounce down. Camera almost got stuck. Tiptoe so you don't touch the kill plane. That was really slow, but and then that's VP skip, so just practice that. It's hard to get the hang of, but you know, there's another tutorial out there if you need help on it, but I hope this one is more helpful. So after that, if you have under 80, just hold tap left, and if you have more than that, just mash A. And so for the start of the level, you're just going to want to copy this move here. Don't hold forward once you start, because you can jump. You have an 8-frame window to get this thing here, so it's a tiny bit risky, but it's not really. But I'd recommend just wait and then jump, and then just copy this movement that I'm doing. Charge a full roll and rev roll to this bit doing, bounce on it, and then bounce on like the edge of this. Do a full roll here, just make sure these Neander packs are not in your way. And then you can either do some short rolls here, and then do a full roll to that next area. Or you can do a full roll across this bridge, but if you're really scared, you can just walk on it. That's fine. And then once you, once you're in the middle of this bridge, do a full roll and get on this pillar here. And then you're gonna jump on this one, ledge grab this one, not die like I just did. So just jump here. This is hard to get the hang of when you first start. Ooh, you can do that roll. I didn't actually know it was a thing. I don't think it'd be useful, but yeah. But once you start off, do a full roll and stop here, like I said. And you're gonna jump to this pillar, jump to this one, and this one, and then you're gonna actually, let me do this. Actually, there's a guy in there that can shoot stuff at you, so just bear that in mind. Just be careful when you're in this room. I'm gonna kill him so he's not in my way. I would not recommend killing him, but I'm just going to kill him for the purpose, so that way I can show some stuff off so he doesn't kill me. Actually, I think I have to wait for this to run out, but once you get on here, you're gonna want to jump off of this like little corner that I'm facing, like where Pac-Man's nose is kind of touching. And then you're gonna grab this ledge, and then you can either like do the ledge list setup. I wouldn't recommend it personally, but I'll show that off one more time. Again, the camera in this area is really bad, so just keep that in mind too. So you kind of want to face this like little stone thing here, this like little black thing. And if you face it, you should, oops. If you face that, you should grab the ledge and have a perfect setup for the skip, which I will show off here. Don't do these blood bounces, by the way. I'm doing them because I'm trying to go fast to show you this. So face Black Bob, and then you should have a good angle for this roll. I accidentally had Y on here, so I messed it up. So make sure you're facing this black thing. If your angle's bad, just flip kick and then tap back. Kind of. Like you saw that reset up I did. So do that. And if you have a good roll, just roll right here. And this is really easy to get the hang of. And it's pretty easy. But you should practice it because it's kind of worth it. Do a full roll here. Do a short one. Jump onto this, these three platforms. You can rev roll off of that, this corner right here to this platform, but it only saves a second, and it's sort of risky, but it's really not. But I wouldn't recommend it. And but once you get onto like here, do a full roll. Make sure you have check your dot counter, because if you have more than 6. You're free to mash A, like I said. This is like the 0% thing. And if you have under 6, then you have to hold down after you finish the level. So it's kind of an easy number to remember. Like just remember, if I have like under 6, don't mash, and if I have over 6, then just mash. Or if you grab the orange, if you're trying to ledge setup, which don't do, by the way. You want to get this chrome ball, do a full roll here, do a short roll here, jump here, roll to this doing, and you can either jump on this pillar, or not this pillar, this platform and do a short roll to over here, or you can jump across it. Your preference. And then you want to do a roll to this platform and then jump here. Oh, but I messed that up. Actually, I'm gonna restart and show you like some good movement you should do when you start this out. Place this black thing. Make sure you don't jump too late, otherwise you'll get an 8-frame jump, and then you'll just die. And I'll show you why you need this chrome ball once we get into the section we need to. So you kind of want to ricochet off that wall to this pillar, and then jump across it, do a short roll, and then a full one, and then you want to head to this wall and then face it, and then you'll have to see for my inputs. And this is the reason why you grab the chrome ball, because you skip waiting out these cycle platforms and it saves a lot of time. You can get this one up if you want, and then just jump across. It's really self-explanatory, really. And then here we have another skip in this level, and this is called what we call slide skip, because this is sort of a bit precise, but it's really easy like once you get extremely good at it. So you want to sort of use my cue kind of, and I'll show you my cue for it. So basically you kind of want to like sort of jump off, and then I use this stalagmite. This here, it's sort of off screen, but you can kind of see where my mouse is. And then if you use that, I make sure it's always facing like this direction kind of. And if I do, it always works for me. I'll shut it off in perspective one more time. So 1, 2, 3. So wait in here. Like once you like use that cue that I showed you, once Pac-Man's hands flap, just like once you react to his like hands like flapping when he's like in a descending state, like once you react to it, wait for like 3 seconds or more, 2.5 to 3, and then you should butt bounce, and you should butt bounce like around this area where I'm walking in a circle. If you can't do it, then you can do a rev roll across the slide and then go here. And then for the second jump, you want to bounce straight into this stalagmite here. Like just bounce straight into it. It's not solid, don't be scared. And then if you do that, you should land right on the trigger. So I'll shut it off again. Again, just copy the movement I'm doing. You can either walk or roll here. It's this black thing here. Do a full roll here. Do a roll here. And then you can either jump across or do the strat over there. your preference. Also, if you do grab this pillar, oh wow, I actually missed it. If you because I want to show you the cue for this. If you do end up messing this up and grabbing this pillar, you can just press B and then, well, nice ledge grab hitbox. But if you do ledge grab that, it's kind of impossible to get back up. If you do, just press B and then you can. I'm so bad at this save. But if your angle is certain, you can press B and then grab this little stalagmite because it's solid, and then you can jump and save yourself. And if you manage to not have the chrome ball, you can do a roll here, and you can one cycle this thing, or you can two cycle it and then just wait the first ones. I recommend doing what I did though, because it's faster and it saves some time. So like I said, 1, 2, 3, and then you should make it every time, so it's really easy. But I'll show you the route that you can do if you don't want to go for the first jump, so that's kind of difficult. And I kind of might have the route messed up since it's been a while since I've done this, but hopefully this one will help. I almost died there. Don't do those bounces, by the way. Even though they are fast, yes, but they're really risky. So that's the roll that I talked about. That saves like a second or two. If your cycle is kind of perfect, you can kind of do a roll off this thing and then boost yourself, but I didn't get a good collision setup, so I messed it up. That was close. If you can't do that first jump, like I said, you can do a roll here. And then do a roll here. It loses a bit of time, but the second jump's really worth it, and it's really free. So just bounce straight into it, and then you should land on the trigger 100% of the time. So that's that. And here is nice direction you were walking. This boss is really difficult to learn, and there are many strats for it, but I'm just going to show off the easy strats for it, which is like the double hit strats. I'll make a more in-depth tutorial on the more advanced strats later, but for now I'd recommend using this method which I'm about to show. So once you do that, mash start. Forget, yeah, this is the right run. It's been a while since I've done the double hit strats, but once you mash start, tap left, and then you're gonna get on this platform with like the wedge, and you'll know if you're on the right one if the one on the way back is the life with the little Pac-Man guy, and then you'll just kind of have to wait for him, and this is kind of where you can be safe. And then once he comes down, you wanna you're gonna bounce on him, because this is not like Inky and Pinky where you revel into them. This is where you have to bounce on his cockpit. So you have to do the double hit like that. I'll die again so I can show it off. So tap left, then get on this platform, do a like a full roll and then stop your roll here. Like I said, to stop your roll, just roll and then press A during the roll. Be careful for his like meteors, by the way, because they sometimes, if you jump, they could hit you and then they could shoot you off the edge. So just don't jump here, and don't mash this hit, because if you do, you'll butt bounce when he's invincible, and you know, it'll be harder to get the hit. So this is what you want to do. So you want to bounce, bounce. So like A, and then A. So like A, A. And like I said, A, 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 A. So it's pretty nice rhythm to get down. And then once phase 2 starts, you want to rev roll straight to this health wedge thing. Make sure there's no life guy, and that means you'll be on the right platform. You don't have to be on this platform, but this is like the route I would recommend personally, and I think this is what Nacho used to do, so I highly recommend this route that I'm doing. And then I'm going to show you 2 ways for this phase. One is the fast one, and the other is the slow one, which I think I'd recommend when you first start off. So basically, once his oh wow, I actually messed that up. It's been a while since I've actually done these, so I might be a little bit rusty at them. So you want to hold forward and then roll and stop it here. Just stand here. Kind of want to stand, I think, around here-ish. Around where his like little spike things are. These 2 things. And then you want to do like the kind of hit thing. This is like really hard to like get down, but I sort of wouldn't recommend that when you first start. Like, but this is what I would recommend doing once you first do this boss. So roll here. Just wait for him to do attacks. Just do whatever you want here. Just do butt bounce, because he'll never like shoot you right here. So just don't be afraid. You just gotta believe. So once like goes down, you can either do this. You can wait for him to do that, and then mash him like that, and then you can bounce him like that. I think that was the incorrect route, but I think that's what I'd recommend personally, if I remember correctly for that route. And then phase 3, flip kick once he shoots his 3rd fireballs. Wait for him to do that roll, and then rev roll to the guy with this life here. And be careful you don't get shot. And then this is the same as phase 1. And I should mention that his hitbox gets smaller throughout every phase, so it'll be harder to get the hits. So if you're thinking, oh, this is a glitch, why is he not hitting? It's not a glitch, he's just getting smaller and smaller throughout every phase, which makes this boss a bit harder. And just wait out, and once he's done shooting his balls, just revel here for that, and then run around here, and then wait here. And depending when you start to hit him, he might like move around a bit. Like usually if he's in a perfect spot, you want to tap left and then A. He was on a bad cycle, so I didn't get to hit him. So let me shut off again. So hold up and forward. Just be careful. If you do this mode, you should never get hit. So you'll just kind of have to like experiment like what he's doing really. And it's also kind of really easy to die here. That was close. But usually if you like get him on like the perfect way, like tap left and then A, and with the rhythm I said A, that's the rhythm for all the phases except for one, which I'll explain. So if he's like this, like if he tilts like that way I did, you'll just have to see my inputs. Like you're basically just gonna have to kind of like see what he does. If you miss it, then you'll just have to wait out, and then once he's like on the ground again, you can hit him. And then once, just make sure you don't get hit, go to the life platform here. Make sure you're careful on your health, and then just be careful here. And the game lags like heck there once you get in there. And this is the, I think phase 4 is like the hardest hit, but this one's also kind of tricky. But make sure he doesn't bob. If he doesn't bob, then you should be fine. Like if he keeps going up and down. And I think his hitbox is usually the camera's facing the incorrect way, but I think it's around this area here. But I'll shut off again. Because I totally forget where his hitbox is, because I don't know the way his hitbox is. So just be careful here. You can either move the camera right here, like this way to reduce the lag. It kind of helps sometimes. So just make sure he doesn't bob. Okay, like I think around here is where you want to mash against like the left of Clyde, but or not left, the right a bit of Clyde, but not super close to him. Well, technically this boss is actually technically Blinky, but you know, Namco is great at naming stuff, so yeah. You can either run around here to not get hit. I think that works a lot better. Do a roll here. And you'll just have to wait for him. Like once he gets down, just make sure he doesn't bob. When I got the fast hit, which I did not want to do. You'll basically just want to have to like mash A on this phase. And I'll shut that off again. And then again, don't go for these. But these are the advanced strats that you'll be able to get to do in the future. Nope. These are really hard to do, so don't do them when you first start off. Don't even bother. But this makes it where you can be Clyde in like 2 minutes to like 50 seconds. So again, we're on phase 5 again. So again, just be careful. So just make sure he doesn't bob. He's not bobbing. Again, the camera can like turn on you sometimes, and he can also turn on you. So you'll just kind of have to like, depending where he is, you'll just kind of have to mash A and then see what he does. I can't really like give like a great cue for it, but you'll just kind of have to kind of experiment yourself, kind of. and just yellow it, kind of. I actually don't know if even moving the camera here reduces the lag, but I know some people do that, but I don't know if it works. But again, just mash A, just make sure. I was going on Clyde's wild right there, but this is kind of hard to learn when you first start, so don't rush through it. I'll show it off one more time. And then that'll end this playthrough, or tutorial. And when you see me press Y, it's not actually me pressing Y. This is the way I hold my controller, because my thumb, or my pointy finger, is literally in the way of my Y button. That's just how I hold my controller, so you don't need to press Y. At all. So like I said, actually, if you can't do that strat like I said, do this. Oh wow, I missed. I'm bad at the game. But just pretend I got those hits the other way, and just wait that out. Like I said, it's your choice. Like phase 2 and phase 1 through 3 are not free. 3 are like really easy to get down. But then once you get to phase 4 and 5, they're just kind of the phases you really need to practice. But if you can't like get these like double hits, you can always wait them out, but it loses a lot of time. So if he's on a good position. See, that's when he was in a good position. You just kind of have to see with what I did with my inputs. Uh-oh. So, you'll just kind of have to experiment, see what he does for phase 5. And that's Clyde. And then that's the same pause technique as the 2 other bosses that I explained if you watch those, so you should know how to do that. And then that's World 4. Yeah, I'll be making a more advanced tutorial on Clyde in the future. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. That is this tutorial, and I'll see y'all later. Peace, gamers.